There we go again!
Yeah.
There we go again!
Woo, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 2 of the episode 1
of the podcast.
The actual
episode.
So, last time we left off, right with,
Left off with a cliffhanger.
Ooh.
Left off, when we were, young men.
Exciting.
About to take off on the creative, journey to our demise.
Yeah.
Which is
that's a good way to put it, which was, Imposters.
Originally.
Ooh, hold your applause, everybody.
Just calm down. Just
everyone.
Everybody's got their wiener out.
Put those wieners away and listen up, boys and girls.
So, we had trouble actually naming it. It was...
Which, I still don't think Imposters was the name. It was like a placeholder.
Yeah, we were... Well, I was set on Imposters pretty hard, but you didn't like it. Yeah. So you were like, alright, well, I'll find something that fits it, but we'll just think of it later.
Yeah.
But,
still working on it. I'll let you know when I have something that I think's worth...
5 years.
Worth the time. But, yeah, so... this thing came about with Nick approaching me.
Oh, I'm Nick, by the way.
Asking... Oh, I'm Jacob.
There we go. Reintroduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Oh, I didn't even say the... fuck, my bad. Okay, let's just restart. 1, 2, 3... Hey, everybody! Welcome to the Night Guys. Night Shift. The Night Shift boys. At night. Time to clock in. Because we got some work to do.
Yeah.
We're going to come up with a catchy, slogan.
I like that.
And then we'll put it on t-shirts and everyone would be like, oh, you listen to the Night Guys?
And get your ass beat by a bunch of bullies.
And you have to lie and say no. What was it? Oh, I'm Jacob.
I'm Nick.
Okay, there you go, guys. Now we can
start. All right, so.
Fuck.
Oh, god damn it! All right, so 12th grade, senior year. I had nothing better to do. I wasn't doing anything in particular. I don't think you were. Well, you were out of band, right?
I just gotten out of band. For anyone who listened last time, you know a little bit about our backstory, where we come from, a little origins. If you haven't listened to that episode, please do.
I heard it's a good one.
I haven't heard it yet, so
I
have to take your word for it. You're literally the only person on earth so far, because it's not uploaded yet, that's heard it. But yeah, last time we talked a little bit about our backstory, how me and Nick met through middle school and whatnot, just to touch on that briefly. And we left off in high school, which this film project that we started to do, which we called Imposters, which kind of sealed our friendship, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Right? So, do you want to take it from where you were your senior year and how you got there?
Oh yeah, senior year. So, I was doing my thing.
Wait, I'm gonna interrupt you already. So, just more backstory. So, in high school, our freshman year, we didn't really talk.
Oh, we're doing the whole summary.
Yeah, right?
Okay,
so, just a little bit before. So, our freshman year, we didn't really talk.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's a lie. We had,
We had science class.
Science. So, we talked in science. But it was just kind of
So, whatever.
Yeah, just oh, that's that dude in that class.
That's that dude in that class.
Yeah,
and we have science again.
How's it going, science?
Cool.
And then the next year, I don't think we talked at all.
Talked at all, except sometimes I would skip my own lunch just to go to your guys' lunch.
Yeah.
And I would hang out we would hang out only at the table. You and a couple other people we know from Kirby.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember going to there, be like, hey guys, what's going on? And I was sitting there waiting for everybody to come. Little did I know, that was it. And as you were drawing and as nobody was talking, I was like, oh, so this is what it's like.
This is it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I remember, lunchtimes at our high school was split into different blocks depending on what class you had.
Yeah.
At a certain time during the day, that would be the lunch you would go and take.
Pretty much.
And so I had a group of friends I would always sit with. Sometimes, like, the conversation would be okay. Sometimes there'd be no conversation at all.
Inconsistent.
Yeah, so I had a tendency just to, like, doodle. I used to draw a lot. So I would doodle. Yeah, I would. Sorry. I will doodle. Until the cows came home. Yeah, and sometimes, like, the lunch periods would get like switched up because of testing.
Yeah, I mean that's the only time that it was any other different.
And so sometimes Nick would come and sit down and we'd chat like a little bit.
Yeah.
And that would be it. So, and that was like what, the 2 years before
that was
our senior year?
Yeah.
That was like our only interaction?
Only interaction, but I did have you for English for our junior year.
Oh yeah, our junior year.
So,
which we didn't talk too much then either.
Even though we were like in the same row. Like
yeah.
we were like in the same area, but we never like interacted. I was always in the back. I had like 2 people I talked to, but you were in the front. And the only interaction from that class was you.
I had Cat.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had a cat, and
yeah. I brought my cat from home.
No, you just bought Legend of Zelda. I think it wasn't Wind Waker, but it was
the Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword.
No, actually, a buddy of mine lent that to me.
Oh, so that wasn't even yours.
Yeah, and he gave me like his Wiimote and everything, and I still have it. I never fucking gave it back to him.
You never fucking find us.
Yeah, I was like, because I would jam with him a couple times. He played guitar, so he'd come over and we'd like, just play music or whatever. But yeah, and we would talk about that.
No, you. This is seriously the only interaction. You because you were in front of me. I remember you pulling out the game, you looking back at me, and you just made a face
like,
and then you turned back around.
I don't fucking remember.
And I was like, oh, okay.
I don't remember that.
So I don't know if that was payback for the hoodie thing. Like, was that just like such a cold shoulder thing?
I was sticking to him. Yeah. I don't fucking remember that at all. Right. Oh man, that's weird.
Yeah, that was strange.
But I had like 2 friends in that class. I think our friends were separate.
Yeah.
And then, fucking our other buddy who came in that class and just would
our special friend.
Our special friend. Who we love very dearly.
Do we?
Anyway.
You would question it and be like, oh shit, I don't know.
I want to tell this story though before we get into imposters.
Okay.
Which like I think was like one of the first times that I was like, or I saw like my sense of humor in like someone else. Like and that was the time we were sitting. It was another testing day, and like the test. So everyone had different lunches, and I was sitting with 2 good friends of mine from middle school, the ones I talked about last time. And so they kind of knew Nick too. Did you talk to them at all in high school?
Yeah. I had one of them for lunch, and through passing I saw some of them. So, but never directly. Like,
okay. But we all knew each other. So
yeah.
Like they were really good friends of mine at the time. This was our junior year before senior, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's junior year. And so we're sitting at lunch, and then Nick comes and he sits down. He's like, no, you're sitting down, and we come to sit with you. And we're like, oh, hey, Nick, what's going on, man? And, like, you're just there kind of like, oh, hey, guys. And, like, I kind of sit down, like, across from Nick, and a buddy of mine sits next to me, and the other one sits next to Nick. And I'm just kind of sitting there, just like, what's going on? Like,
you knew I was up to something.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I just had a feeling. And they're like, you okay, man? And Nick's just like, oh no, like, my cousin just passed away. My friends are like, oh dude, I'm so sorry man, dude, that really sucks. And he says like, oh, how did he pass away, man? What happened? And then Nick goes, and he's trying like not to laugh. And he kind of looks down, kind of like biting his lip or whatever. And he's like, oh, he broke his neck, man. Broke his neck trying to suck his own dick. And like at that point I just like shook my head and like started eating my food. But my friends totally bought it. They were like, oh my god. It's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like, did they did they have to hide the body? What happened? Like, what did the parents say?
I don't remember that interaction.
I'll never forget
at all.
That was fucking
so
hilarious.
Weird.
Yeah, it was so funny.
So that was the first time you thought, this guy.
Yeah, I was like, that was funny. That was a good one.
You gave me a little golf clap.
Yeah, I gave you a little golf clap in my head. I was like, well done.
I'll show him my Legend of Zelda game later.
Yeah,
so
that was your reward. That's what it was. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll let you take it from here. So how we got started on.
So fast forward.
Yeah.
That's my fast forward.
So it's what, our senior year now?
Yeah.
Our senior year we have
English.
Our English together, which is the first period. And by the end of our junior year, we started talking a little bit more.
Yeah, we started interacting just a little bit more. I mean,
from the prank calls.
Yeah, from the prank calls.
That was.
Did you want to tell that one?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. No, I'll let you take. I'll let you take it later.
Oh man.
There's still more to say. Okay, so at the end of our school year, where everyone's like a little more lenient, the teachers are just kind of like, do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. It's like, I don't gotta see you anymore. So our teacher's just like sitting down, like, I don't know, fucking reading the paper, some shit, whatever fucking teachers do, I don't know. And our school has like these little newspapers, right? Which we don't get often. I don't know why. It was just kind of like, not our school, but like the whole ISD would just kind of give out these like little newsletters of like stuff going on in the district.
It was random as shit.
Yeah, it was always like
you don't
random.
know when they were gonna show up.
Yeah, but I remember it was me, Nick, and two of our friends just sitting in the corner.
One of them is our special friend.
Yeah, one of them is our special buddy, and everyone's gonna think we fuck him or something. Like, god damn it. One of them is our friend that we still talk to now, and the other one we haven't seen in a while. It's probably dead.
Well, I can't think of the other one. All I remember is our special friend, and was there another guy?
It was Christian, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was Christian.
Was it?
I don't know. Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we did. There was like some businesses on the back, right? Like that bought ad space. And I remember I thought it'd be funny if like we prank called one of them. So I got someone to like let me use their phone because I didn't want to fucking use my phone. So I got someone to let me use their phone on the back.
That was my phone, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Asshole.
Okay. So I used Nick's phone, and the first one was this like bouncy house place. And I remember I called acting like I was throwing this sex party, and I asked them if I can get a bouncy house where each pillar was shaped as a big dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember I told them, and they were like, well, you know, we can see what we can do.
Yeah,
but it's
they were
not,
being actually really helpful.
Well, because I was selling it pretty well.
Yeah, you were okay. So for listeners, Jacob has this infamous reputation of being so serious. Like when he's serious, you can't tell if he's joking sometimes. I know I've been guilty of it, but Jacob is a fucking master of not knowing when he's joking or not. So when he's making a phone call, you can't look at his face. You can only have to tell by his voice, and it is impossible.
So, yeah. So I asked them if they can like make all the pillars of the bounty houses of the bounty house dicks, and at the which if you think about it. It should be doable.
Yeah, it doesn't it's not totally unreasonable to make each pillar a penis.
So and then I tried to push it, and I was like, and when a certain number of people come in, I want them all to ejaculate at the same time.
Okay, I don't remember.
You don't remember that? And they were like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that. And I was like, oh no, you just run some tubes up through the top.
Oh, you're giving an engineering device, yeah.
Yeah, and I think like everyone just started laughing around, so I was just like. Yeah. I just like bailed out, and I was like, oh, you know what, it's okay. Like, thank you, goodbye.
I'll get mine from Amazon.
Yeah,
Click.
So I remember that, and then
there's another one.
It was like I did that one at first.
Yeah.
And then I would like come up with ideas, and then like other people would like pursue them.
Try them. Yeah, like
there was the GameStop one, which was my son got a Wiimote stuck in his butt. Yeah.
How do I get it out? Which I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did that one?
Yeah, I did that one, and well, that was the last phone call. There was one after that.
Oh, the one with the barbecue restaurant where you could bring your own meat.
Yeah, and I did that one. Who did that one? No, I'll just say his name. Mark did.
Oh!
His name is Mark. His name is Mark.
Revealed.
Mark did the Taco Bell one.
Yeah, it's a Taco Bell. I have really bad shits. I'm gonna sue. And that one was funny because the lady called back. And I answered pretending to be his dad.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna beat his ass. He does this all the time.
Wasn't that lady like,
yeah, she was like, yeah, beat his ass good. And I was like, oh man, that was so funny. So we did the barbecue one where like you bring in your own meat. That was like
I felt really bad for that one.
The gimmick of the place.
I'm not proud of that one. No, because the guy seemed really interested. Because the phone call started where I was like, hey, I have this exotic meat. I was wondering if you can, cook it for me. Is that okay? Got it from another country. And so the lady I was talking to was like, all right, let me get my manager. And the manager seemed really super interested. Like, I'm sorry, sir.
Like he's a meat connoisseur.
Yeah, like, that we have those requests do it all the time. Like, he seemed really professional about it. And then I had to fucking drop the ball. I'd be like, all right, but...
Because he kept asking what type it was.
Yeah. Well, did he? I don't remember.
That was the thing. He was like, well, what kind of meat is it? Because he was trying to think about like how we should cook it.
Yeah.
And then like
was it monkey meat or dog meat?
It was dog.
It was dog. I was like, well, it's dog meat.
Yeah.
And then I immediately was like, well, don't hang up on me, sir.
And then they hung up. Yeah.
Don't hang up on me. And he said something like, yeah, fuck you. And then hung up on me. I felt terrible.
Oh yeah, that one keeps
like
you up at night.
Such an asshole. Yeah.
Oh, man, sorry about that.
And the GameStop one, any phone call pranks, I'm not proud of. I'll say that. I hate.
Mine was
phone calls.
decent.
Yours is.
That's
fine.
why that's the only one I did.
Yeah, yours is fine. And plus the GameStop one, which I also did. I called GameStop. If you can guess, hey, I got the Wiimote stuck in my ass. What do I do?
No, it was your son who had it stuck up their butt.
Oh, yeah. Was it your son or was it me?
You were the dad calling, saying, hey, my son's... And then our friend was playing the son. He was like, like in the background, like, oh my god.
I don't remember that.
I remember, like, I was telling him stuff to say. I was like, say it won't stop vibrating. Like, just
getting the high
shit.
score. Ding, 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 ding. So yeah, and then the guy immediately said, look, I'm gonna call the cops on you. Then I was like, oh, okay. Then I hung up.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, alright, fine, whatever. And yeah, so that was our prank phone call.
Those were good times.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
Yeah. I think that was the first time like we, I guess, like hung out in a while.
Yeah.
I guess you can say.
For sure.
And then senior year came around.
Ooh,
and that's when we had our English class together, first period, and we sat like right next to each other.
Yeah. So me and Jacob sat, I want to say in the back of the room.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I was in the back.
Yeah, it was like the far back of the room. Well, anyways, so again, it was kind of like our relationship that we had before.
Yeah. Where
we wouldn't really talk to each other.
Just be like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it was more just like banter or whatever.
More acquaintances than friends.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. And then, well, one day, okay, let's talk about our senior year as a whole, like starting out. I mean,
so we had our English together.
Right.
And our lunch as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when we started like talking more and more.
Mm.
But then we would only talk in our English class and at lunch. And our lunch is kind of, and I said it kind of felt like a stand-up in a way.
Yeah.
Like because we had friends that we would sit with and everyone would just kind of be quiet and me and Nick would be the only ones that would talk. And like in the middle of our conversation, like people would just like laugh at us, like in whatever we were saying. And I think like in a weird way we kind of fed off that, like we're not getting them dead out there.
It was a live, literally.
It really
a live
was,
audience,
yeah. We're like, we're not getting them dead out there, yeah.
And
keep it going.
And it was like you know, about that lunch, I feel like we were like the backup table with the other tables. Do you remember people coming to our table just because like something shitty happened at their table?
Like with their friends, it's like, oh, I just don't want to hang out with my friends today. So they would come and sit down with us and we'd be like, hey, knock, knock, who's that? Whatever. Whatever the fuck our shtick was back then.
I remember this one chick came to our table. It was, I don't remember her name or whatever, but she came to our table and she was like, yeah, I came to this table because my friends were talking about nasty stuff, and I'm just not a part of that. It's not my thing, and I decided not to be part of it, so I'm going to be part of this table.
No nasty stuff.
No nasty stuff. I'm like, I immediately went, oh, okay. Well, anyways, my dick is this big. I'm telling you right now.
Whatever the fuck we would talk about, yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ. So that was basically our reputation. We had a quote unquote reputation, but we never knew about it till like after high school.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah, but I had no idea.
What was that reputation?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, sounds good. So yeah, now we can get
Some meaty stuff
to the juicy, big ol' fucking slab of meat that is this cock of a story.
Cock of a story. Where do we begin?
How come they don't put that on like the little blurbs from movies? Like,
cock of a story.
What a cock of a story.
Like a great movie, no critic is saying, what a cock of a story.
It's so big and juicy. That's fucking stupid. Anyways.
People are giving us a second chance and immediately...
Yeah. Everyone's tuned out already.
So yeah, this is when we finally begin our...
Yeah, drop that cock. Go for it.
So, one day I had the idea, because I was in senior year. I wasn't doing very much. I didn't do anything for sophomore year. I didn't do anything for junior year. Sure as hell ain't doing anything for our senior year.
You tell them.
So you can just go fuck off right now. But so I decided that this year was going to be my kind of like
your effort.
Yeah, my effort at doing something, because I didn't really hang out with anybody. I really didn't have any friends, so I'm like, I'm going to hang out with these guys. I knew them from middle school. So I started hanging out with you guys a lot more, and
but then you had the other group of friends who is like were the people you started wanting to do the film with first.
Yeah, and so I don't know if I should say her name. Like, would it matter?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Naomi. Naomi was the first person I came to when it came to like I always wanted to do a movie, and she was like, yeah, you should go for it. Let's make a movie, like, you and I.
But did y'all have, like, theater or anything then? Or...
I was in, no, that was junior year, I thought. Yeah, that was junior year. But I did have, like, a theater background, whatever.
Yeah, but you've always had a love for film and whatnot, right?
Yes!
So...
I always did.
That's where that stemmed from. It's like, I want to do something.
Yeah, and it was after... my sort of depression from film in general after I worked in the
theater,
yeah. So it was coming off of that, and it was coming off of Django Unchained, I feel like. So it had to be like 2013, like when I really
late 2012.
2012, right?
Yeah, around there, late 2012, early 13.
Yeah. So long story short, I wanted to make a movie, and Naomi was my only person I was with at the time.
Yeah, because at the time, like, we didn't, as far as, like, personal stuff, we didn't really talk about much. It was just kind of like, fuck, I don't even know what we would talk about.
We just talk about stupid shit.
Yeah, I guess, like, we knew our small interests as far as, like, I knew you were, like, into film, but I didn't know, like, how in depth. Same thing with, like, me and music. Like, you knew I like music, but you didn't
but
know,
you
like,
didn't know the extents.
Yeah, or, like, what type or whatever. It was just kind of like, oh, he likes this, I like this, whatever.
It's basically that's how it went. But me and Naomi talked for a while. We went over some ideas, and then she mentioned another guy that she introduced with me, and it didn't work out. So I thought, hey, what is the most creative guy I know? Who's the guy that I would want to write something with, and it'd be, funny and good. Oh, type of things I was going for. And so I asked you.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, whatever.
I remember, it was at lunch, and I remember you telling me, like, the ideas they had were kind of, like, just kind of silly.
Yeah, it was...
In a different sense from, like, what we ended up making.
It was something, like, our original idea was, like, a gay ninja, and he did backflips and solved crimes. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. I mean...
So yeah, I remember you coming to lunch and you're like, man, I really want to like make this film, like, and I remember you talking about it, like, or that you were in the process of trying to do it with, you know, the people you were working with. And I remember you were like, yeah, their ideas are just like they're just, I don't know, they're just not connecting.
Yeah, there was this basic kind of thing,
Yeah.
and I just wasn't really into it.
And I think you told me about the ninja thing, and like the whole, was it the crime fighting thing that kind of like stemmed into like what became like our idea?
Yeah, it was definitely a crime fighting aspect.
Oh, but because you wanted to do like a vigilante type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, what would be like an interesting take on that? And then, yeah, and then that's like, we just started joking about it, and it became what we ended up writing, which is the placeholder name Imposters, whatever the fuck we're gonna call it.
I don't think we had a name, like when we just had the
I remember
like, idea.
it was either like Carpagus or Imposters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll explain Carpagus. You don't have to look it up right now, so you just exit that window.
Hey, that might be smart. They might know what that is.
They're like, oh, Carpagus.
Oh, I fucking know.
Playing
I've been
carpet
waiting.
with it all the time, yeah.
I've been waiting for someone to say Carpagus.
So
but-
we thought of synopsis. Do you remember the synopsis?
Yes.
By hearts.
So basically during that lunch, it was like the whole vigilante aspect, and I thought it'd be funny if it was just like more than one person. So I thought, what if it's like a group of people who, like, there's something wrong with each one of them, but together they create just like one normal person. Like, there's something so like messed up with each one of them, but together they're functional.
They're functional, yeah.
In a sense. So let's see. So the name of the movie was Imposters, for the 100th time, in case you missed it. Okay, I'll try to tackle the synopsis. Okay, so you have, I'll probably mess up some of the names, so correct me. So you have this group of individuals who, it was during like, I remember the police strike.
Yeah, the officers went on strike.
Yeah. What was that? Was that in San Antonio or Texas?
Yeah, it took place in San Antonio.
Right, okay, so there was like some police stuff going on, and that kind of like influenced us. So it was like, so let's say in the film, this little town, like their police are going on strike because they're not meeting demands or whatever the fuck. So police go on strike, and these small group of guys, like, who police the neighborhood. No one's really asking them to, they just kind of do it. They're like, now's our chance to step up and like take our place and be like the guys that people come to whenever they need help, you know. And so
trying to do a good deed.
Yeah, trying to do a good deed. And so they're
despite their special needs.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Each one of them has like a special need. They're all
they all had some type of disease or some type of disability that enables them or kind of handicaps them to actually complete like an actual
human being.
no, like handicaps them to actually like solve a mystery. So we thought like if they combine with each other, they would come together.
So we had, was it 5 characters?
Yeah, there was Isaac, Dave, Willie, Gabe, and I'm thinking Shane.
Shane, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So four main people.
4 main people.
And then so David, who was the leader of this little group of guys, he had narcolepsy.
Yeah.
David had narcolepsy. Willie he was a kleptomaniac. Isaac had a speech impediment where only Willie could understand him.
Yeah, he had his tongue cut off.
Yeah, he had his tongue cut off. And Gabe, who was this really big guy, has this thing called Alice in Wonderland syndrome. So he's really big, but he thinks he's very tiny. So, and they all like they were super fleshed out, and I remember that's something I was really proud about.
Yeah,
was like they all felt like their own person, very genuine in who they were, and like their personalities clashed all the time.
Yeah.
And now Shane, he was the fifth character, and he has this thing called Carpagus, where the people you know, you see them as imposters. So let's say one day I get Carpagus, I hang out with Nick, and for some reason I don't believe he is who he says he is. I think he's done something with the real Nick, and I'm like, freaking out, like, what'd you do?
You're not Nick.
Yeah. So that's what Shane had, and he kind of became the thing that pushed the film.
Pushed the story.
Yeah.
He was kind of like the antagonist, but
Yeah.
not really, kind of, sort of.
It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, he was like doing
so-
things. Yeah.
So let's give you the plot. So now you know our characters. Let's give you the plot.
Yes.
So the four of these guys, Isaac, Gabe, Willie, and David. What's his name? David or Dave?
It was Dave.
Oh, Dave? Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright.
Shit.
So Isaac, Willie, Gabe, and Dave, they all grew up together in this same kind of, I guess you can say special ed class, right?
Yeah, they grew up in a class.
And,
that they
and
had
Shane
together.
as well. So all
Yeah.
five of them grew up in special ed class. And so that's how they know each other, and they've just always stuck together throughout school. The same kind of classes over and over until they got out. And so, one day, Shane's Carpagus acts up, and you find out like he's the one who cut out Isaac's tongue a long time ago.
Yeah.
So he gets sent away because like his disability is just like
Out of control.
Yeah, it's just out of control.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so that happens. That's all in the past. So you find them on present day, and there's like these two filmmakers who want to do a story on these guys who were trying to police, this little town in its time of need.
Yeah.
And so it becomes
Those guys are assholes.
Yeah. So it becomes these two guys wanting to make a documentary about this oddball group of guys trying to help out their community. So that's the main premise. I guess there's like layers to it, but that's when you first start like reading the script.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So that happens, and there's like interview sections, kind of if you've seen like The Office or
It was
Parks and
going to
Rec.
be handicap movie, or it was supposed to be in the view of the camera of all times. Like it was, you've seen in fucking Blair Witch or.
Well, it not at first.
Yeah.
Not at first. It wasn't gonna be a handicap movie.
Was it not?
No, remember? We had the camera guys. It was all gonna be stable.
Oh. Okay. I thought that was like it for the beginning. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So at first, it's very stable, right? Just like a normal movie. So, and it becomes I guess at the end of it, it becomes like a lot of found footage movie.
Yeah.
So, but at first, so you hear the cameraman talking. They kind of become characters as well. So, yeah, they're doing this thing, the documentary, and all of a sudden one day Shane shows up, and the group of guys are kind of hesitant because of what he did to their friend, cutting out his tongue. But he explains to them like, "Hey, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm okay now. I'm on these pills. Like, I'm stable now, and I just want to, make up for lost time. I want to help you guys out." And he looks up to them, right? And so they don't really trust him at first, and finally they give in, right? And so they're like trying to solve like these little small crimes. Like they hear someone keeps like breaking into houses, so they're like, we're gonna stop them. And so like they go and they find out like it's their friend.
Oh shit, are we explaining the whole movie?
I'm just gonna hit parts.
Okay, alright.
So they go and they find out it's their friend Willie, who's the guy who's a kleptomaniac, so he's stealing stuff. Anyway, so they're like, "Willie, dang it," and he's like, "Sorry guys, I can't help it." And they're like,
him saying,
"Aw."
like, why can't you get behind that I still
Yeah, he's like, "Why can't you just accept that? Like that's who I am." Anyway, so that character as well is like really important.
Yeah.
So he ends up stealing Shane's pills, and so Shane starts to lose it again, and it becomes he doesn't believe that the people who he's with are his actual friends, hence his disability. So that's kind of like where the movie kind of flips.
Yeah.
Because he, and I felt really proud about that, because it starts off like as a really strong comedy. Everyone that we showed at first like was like, man, this is really funny. And then I remember analogy I used to say, it's like a light bulb going out. Like it starts off really bright and funny and silly, and as the movie progresses or the script progresses, it just gets like darker and darker until like the comedy's just kind of taken out of it completely.
Yeah, it was like which we never intended to do that.
It just kind of happened.
Well, okay, so our original intention was to do this as a short. It was originally supposed to be a short film that we were just, wanting to do. And, it wasn't supposed to be like this huge thing that it become at first. But as we were writing, I remember we were at Hookah, I think, of all places, and I sat him down. I'm like, hey man, we really have something here. If we like expand this out to a movie, like that would give us more chance to like
it became that
everything
we fell in love with the characters so much. We had so much fun like stepping into the heads of these characters.
Yeah.
And I remember writing just kind of like it came real natural.
Yeah.
Which was weird, because like I never had a big like love for film, and like Nick totally changed that. I remember like at the time, like I was real into like just music. Like music was my thing. And like it's easy to stumble across a 2-minute song or whatever and hear it and be like, wow, that's really cool, and go check out like that album. But I don't know, at the time it never really occurred to me for such like a grand medium like to be the same effect. I always just assumed, well, I never really, it never really occurred to me like that, like there were like these underground films.
You didn't know? Like I mean, all you saw was like stuff that came from the theater, right?
I would watch like shit on IFC, so I knew like there were like some, like I saw like Hard Candy and Evil Dead and stuff like that. So yeah, but as far as like, I thought those are just like movies that like had their time, in the spotlight that were just old. But I never knew there was like stuff that like never like actually made it out there at first, So, and that was like little by little. And I remember like thinking about it, and I was like, why did I just assume, as far as like me always listening to music and knowing like all these like underground whatever the fuck artists, that I don't know why it never just clicked like, oh, it's the same for like almost every like art.
Every medium has it. The really like general stuff, and then you have the really underground artsy stuff.
I don't know why it never clicked with me that way. So writing it, I was just like, wow, it's so cool, like, and checking out like films that you recommend and shit like that. But yeah, writing besides like lyrics and stuff or poetry or whatever, like as far as that kind of format was very new to me, but it was really fun. Like just the storytelling.
I think the best times of us like getting together.
Just that fucking Starbucks, like.
Oh yeah, Starbucks
and like
Starbucks every time.
Our little place 5-star, which that's for another episode.
Oh man,
yeah,
that's a fucking series. But yeah, we always meet there, but you always like have something like.
It's right for fucking hours, man.
Yeah, I think that was our best times, at least in the beginning, and then it got like when it got really big and we started getting to like the meaty like.
It was just like wrapping up like the endings.
Yeah.
So which I'll get back to it. So Willie stills the pills that are keeping Shane stable, and so he doesn't trust them anymore. He starts to lose grasp on what's real, what's not. And so who's the first person he kills? Was it a cameraman?
It was a cameraman.
Okay, so like the documentary's happening, right? They're trying to piece it together, and so there's still interviews here and there. And so it gets to Shane talking to one of the cameramen, or one of the cameramen's like, "Are you okay?" and stuff like that. And Shane
tries to rape him.
Oh, does he?
Yes, you don't remember?
I don't remember that.
Okay, yeah, there was this part where the cameraman, when Shane is having like his mental breakdown, and the cameraman catches him, and then Shane like is saying something really kind of like I don't know, something rapey, I guess. And then he turns to the cameraman, and then he's like...
being in prison. He was having, like, those prison flashbacks. That's right.
Okay, was it that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then he turns to the camera and is like, "You're next," or "Come here," and then he starts chasing after him.
Okay, yeah. So the cameraman walks in on Shane because they're sharing. All the guys just live in this one big house.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
together.
like pull their money wherever the fuck they get it from, which is something I've never thought about. Like, how do they afford this fucking 2-story house or
whatever? They go to work and
become
vigilantes at night.
Yeah. What work in the morning, vigilantes at night. Isn't that what Batman does?
What if they all
Batman
worked
style.
in the same like McDonald's?
Oh, that'd been funny.
God damn
Oh,
it.
we should go back and write something like that.
Maybe one day.
Anyways, so cameraman walks in on Shane and he's like, "Hey man, are you alright?" And so Shane ends up killing him, hiding the body.
Yeah.
So he's kind of battling between like what's right, what's wrong. And so now that he has this like new sense of like friendship, like he really wants it back, and he feels like it's his duty to find his friends and like what these quote unquote imposters have done with them.
Yeah.
So he's loose, like he's off his hinges, but at the same time he's cautious. He doesn't want to make it known that he knows that they're imposters, so to speak.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Just a pause here. Do the characters, because I'm really like trying to remember what their diseases actually are. But doesn't one of them have short-term memory loss? Or do some of them have multiple diseases?
Oh, Dave.
Dave, right?
So he yeah, I forgot that. So he suffers from short-term memory loss as well as the Carpagus. So he has this little like booklet he keeps with him. And so like he'll pass out, he'll wake up, and then write down like the last stuff he remembers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that happens. And so the camera guy goes missing, and then like that's when like things just start to like
it starts to escalate kind of quickly.
Yeah, and from there it just like it just becomes this grand thing.
Yeah. I mean, we were like put all our hearts in that. I mean, if we read that now, I feel like it's like the best of our capabilities at the time to make a great film.
Yeah, I think it's like everything that like we like.
Yeah, combined together.
So like the comedy, like the dark, like kind of
when it starts to get to the really end of the film.
But then like looking back at it, like a lot of the humor that's in there, it probably didn't age well at all. Yeah, in the PC culture we live in right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Willie as a kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
So Willie was our one of the groups, and he was black. Yeah. And
well, because it was based off of a friend. Yeah. Yeah, and our friend was black. We're not racist. He's just black. I mean, we can't help that.
What do you want us to do?
You not make him black? He has every right to be. Anyways.
So we thought it would be funny if he was a kleptomaniac. It's not funny at all. It's not funny, and it is not good.
It was based off a friend.
It's based off a friend, but
anyways, he's black. He likes to steal. Kleptomaniac. I don't see race anymore, so it doesn't matter. So they all look the same to me.
It's just black and white.
Yeah, they all look the same. I'm not saying like all racists look the same. I'm not saying like you know.
But like, that wouldn't fly. I think some of the stuff that we say.
Let's just see that.
It was
the race jokes,
dude. It was everything.
The rape jokes.
The
Nazi, swastika joke.
Yeah. The Nazi thing.
Oh man, which I thought was funny.
Oh, I still think it's funny. Yeah.
I still think it's funny.
I'm gonna take back.
So in prison, Shane got like his thing. His name is like Shane Solis. And so in prison, like, there's a part of the film where like he takes off his shirt, and you see on his arm like a big swastika, and his friends are like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And he's like, "Oh, it's my prison tattoo." And they're like, "Yeah, like, why did you get that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's my initials, Shane Solis. It's 2 S's." Because, you know, swastika looks like...
And then Dave's like, alright, let me do something.
Yeah, and he gets a Sharpie and he makes it look like 2 stick figures fucking each other.
It was shitting in each other's mouth and like
something like
other.
That, yeah. And he's like, that looks good.
That was like the first 20 minutes of...
There's there's race jokes, there's like rape jokes.
There's people with diseases.
Yeah, people with diseases. We got the Nazis.
We have the one part that...
Oh, not even to mention fucking
Agent Dickerson. Yes.
Who's the black gay bodybuilding crime fighting
FBI secret agent.
FBI secret agent
that was disbanded from the FBI for being too crazy.
Yeah. So you got him. Who I think like you gravitated to the most.
Awesome.
Like you fucking loved him.
Oh my god.
Necrophilia.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the necrophilia thing. Murder.
Of course.
Yeah. People hate
it. Was
murder.
Just everything horrible that you can think of in one script.
But tasteful.
Yeah.
Like in
the context of it. To be honest, I haven't read it
in
a
a
very
while,
long time. I don't know what I would think of it now.
What if we read it and we're just like super offended?
Oh my god.
That'd be funny.
We delete it. Like all that shit, and then we just
delete this episode, like.
But yeah, so nonetheless to say that we loved at the time, you can say that we loved the script.
Yeah, we haven't read it in like a year, I say.
Yeah, it's been a while, but we both love the scripts,
and not just us, like everyone that we showed it to, like thought it was very solid, like thought it was like super funny.
Yeah, we showed it to people that were close to us, or that
we at least thought had a good sense of humor.
Yeah, or what I thought were people that were going to be involved in the filmmaking at some time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then, so all that happens, like, and it ends up being, like, little by little, they all get killed off. So it's just, Shane and Dave, who back then were best friends.
Yeah, because Dave was the leader of the group.
Yeah.
And Shane was outcast, so we thought, that would be, like, the ultimate showdown between them.
Do you want to take the ending? Like, at least try to explain the ending?
So the ending, I honestly having trouble to remember the ending because you got multiple endings.
That was the biggest problem, was like putting a nice little bow at the end of this thing.
Yeah, because it's
just
all
wrapping it all up.
It was literally all that build up. And we were trying to figure out how do we.
Well, cause like there's so many characters and like it is kind of hard to follow, and plus like as far as like starting it off, like not handycam.
Yeah.
Going to handycam, which was a problem for a while, like camera placement and stuff.
Yeah, like how are we gonna, or why would there be a camera? Like,
yeah, so it was like at first started off like a regular film, right? Just stable cameras, and then it became the handycam, and then different mediums of like like taking a vlog with a phone or something. When Dave was by himself and he was like he lost his pad to take notes, so he decided to start recording like on his phone, and just different things like that, and why they would keep the camera and stuff, which I remember, which was like my biggest thing was wanting to keep it like
footage,
and
the thing.
Keeping the reason why, which I think I pushed pretty hard because I think you wanted to just make it.
I wanted to have both of them integrated somehow. And like have some parts not be handycam and some parts to be, and I think that's the hardest thing we butt heads on. Yeah,
because I wanted it to. I kept saying like we can find like a nice like shot and still have it be handycam.
Yeah.
Like why not like them set it down somewhere and it's just like this one shot thing.
Yeah.
A wide angle, whatever.
And to this day we haven't really decided on. Well, whether, because I still think the ending had like a back and forth between the two, but I never really knew where the camera was placed or where it was not. So it was still like, at least toward the ending part, it was kind of like up in the air. Like, okay, well this can be somewhere, or the camera can be here.
Well, didn't like Shane like capture Dave?
Yeah, at one point.
I remember. Yeah, I wrote in. I was like, I want that. I think it would be within character to film him.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, I want, say it for the camera, type of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's where we at least brought one of the cameras.
Yeah.
And I think I remember
Didn't you want to bring like another cameraman or a third cameraman at some point?
I don't remember. Oh man, but I remember there were like from the police camera angles and like
yeah.
There was just like a lot. Very ambitious like for the time of like especially for two people who had like no knowledge about film. But like I said, we fell in love with it so hard. We were like, it's good. It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we kept writing, and it came down to like something that like we really like genuinely felt proud of, right?
Yeah,
as I can say.
For sure.
I know I said that like a couple of times.
It's our baby.
Yeah.
As a lot of screenwriters.
Oh yeah, that's how we would tell people.
Baby.
It's our little ugly stupid baby.
Yes.
Yeah, it's our disease-ridden baby.
It's our deformed baby. Look
Yeah.
at it. Oh.
Our disability baby. Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so going from that, did you want to talk about like how we, I guess, wrote it in a sense?
Nah, I think I'm done. Wait, what do you mean?
Like, I remember for the longest time it would be me writing something, or I would write a kind of rough draft of it.
So Nick during school would like have this little journal, and he would write like, I think it should go this way.
And by the way, that's all I would do.
Yeah,
like
I didn't fucking write.
I didn't do any schoolwork. I didn't have to be there. First off, there was no reason for me being there.
Oh, yeah, our senior year, yeah.
Yeah, our senior year. So all I did was write, and that was like consistently 4 hours a day of my life went to writing imposters.
Which is funny because like, okay, so Nick would write. So we would meet up, and let's say like Friday, Saturday. It's like sometimes like every single day. On the weekdays, on the weekends, I mean.
Whenever we're free, we'd be like, "What are you meeting? We're gonna meet."
Yeah,
like,
we would at least meet for like a few hours. So Nick would write from like Monday through Thursday, and then like Friday through Saturday, I would shit all over it.
And then rewrite the whole thing.
Yeah, and rewrite the whole thing.
And that was our thing
for a good
while.
It's like, Nick's like, dude, I got this part I think you're really gonna like, and I'd read it and be like, nah.
This sucks.
Yeah, this fucking sucks.
This all sucks.
No, but like, he would write stuff, and I think a lot of the time, like, we were good balance. So you would write something, and then I think I had a good, like, a good eye for like making it human. You know what I mean? So like, you would write something, and you'd be more like on like this is gonna happen and they're gonna say this.
I think my big thing back then was structure.
Yeah.
And you were more character building. And I think they kind of build on each other.
Yeah. So it would be like, so this, you would write like out a scene, and then in my head I would be like, this character wouldn't say it like that, or you know, he wouldn't react this certain way.
Yeah.
And we would kind of go back and forth, and it wasn't like, oh, you're stupid, you know, you're a fucking idiot.
It never
what the fuck's
got
wrong
heated.
With you? Yeah, you piece of shit.
Part,
you know?
Yeah. It
like
was
what?
Like...
Yeah, you're a fucking asshole. It was never shit like that. It was more like, oh, how about this? And it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's do it that way. Or yeah, that's funny. Or you know, oh yeah, that would be better for this scene. Yeah, and we would just kind of piggyback off of each other, just like that. Or if like Nick would get stuck, like, oh yeah, I didn't know what to do for this part, I would write something in, and then he would go back and be like, oh, you know, what about this? You know, just like, yeah, just rebounding stuff.
And and
bouncing stuff off.
Yeah, that went on for a good while until we got to an end. How do we put this in like a little cube that we have? Yeah. Or like how do we just end it? Because it would go on for a while. And I think if we didn't have the 90-page mark to like go to, I think we would have gone way crazier than we did.
Wait, no, it's more than 90 pages.
It was like 91, but it was like, yeah.
I thought it was like in the hundreds.
It might be, but we would have completely got off the rails. So it was kind of like, how do we like end this, because this is getting kind of crazy. So it was like at the kind of end of the part. Our characters were basically dead, and we just needed that one part, that one ending scene. How do we do it? And we went back and forth how we ended.
And I don't know if I remember how it ends right now.
It ends with Shane. Well, everybody dies. Spoiler alert. spoilers.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Spoiler. Anyways.
So, basically everybody dies, and Shane is left with his disease still, and the cops get off the strike because.
Oh yeah, it's like the same. Yeah. Murders.
And Shane is by himself, and he's basically trying to put everything back, and it ends with Shane in this one room. And he has a billboard, and he has pictures, and he has strings and whatnot, and it's basically him trying to figure out who killed his friends, and he doesn't know that it was all because of him, and that's how it ends.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. But yeah, that was the ending, at least originally.
And it becomes it becomes the police watching some of the found footage as part of their investigation.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So that's how some of the stuff.
Or I think the ending scene, Shane still has the footage from the cameraman, and he plays it back and forth on trying to figure it out, trying to put the
pieces together. Watching it. So yeah.
Yeah, that was Imposters.
Yeah, so leave a review.
Please leave a comment.
Smash the like button.
How much money would you give us to actually film it?
Yeah, we're gonna open up a Patreon, and I know most Patreons, you keep.
It's a Kickstarter.
Oh.
No.
We could open up both, whatever.
Okay, yeah, totally.
Yeah, we'll open up a Patreon and a Kickstarter.
Oh, Indiegogo?
Yeah, sure.
Have three going at the same time.
Three Gigogos. We'll open up all those, and I know usually you can pay $1 and then $3 and then $5, but I say fuck that. Let's just give them the opportunity to pay $1,000 each.
You know what? I think people have $1,000.
Up the ante, $5,000. We only have one button that says "Give us $5,000."
How about we put it to 266? That's because 200 for the 600 and 600 for 200.
That sounds pretty good to me.
All right.
I can't wait for the money.
I can't wait till the money to roll in.
Oh boy.
And for us not to do the movie anyways.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, there we go. Imposters. And then I think it's a good ending spot.
Oh wait, let's pause it.
And then
commercial break.
Commercial break. Stay tuned for a list of products from our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Hello, ladies and gents. I am your leather man. I have all your leather needs. I have leather boots, leather stamps, leather everything. Come on down to Leatherman Shops today. Get your 95% off.
Leatherman Leather Store.
Is your semen too thin? Do you want to make it more thick? Try Thickums today. Only $9.95 at your local supermarket. Your lady will thank us.
May cause diabetes, diarrhea, depression, anxiety, metamorphosis, photosynthesis, athlete's foot, murder, incest, chronic masturbation, nervous tics, telekinesis, teleportation, death, blue balls, invisibility, racist tendencies, buttons, colons, and poopy butt.
Oh boy, were those sponsors
man.
super duper.
Is that what pays the bills every week?
Everybody go buy their products and tell them the Nightman sent you.
The Nightman.
Anyway, so
basically we loved what we written.
Yeah.
And we tried with different friends, or we tried so hard to get that thing made.
We tried so hard, and we got so far.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like in the end,
doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it didn't even matter. But anyways.
Fuck you. Fuck you. God damn it! Derailed this shit. All right, so basically we loved it so much that we wanted to be top tier. Before we
so right now we're just gonna talk about Nick wanted to talk about a little bit the aftermath of what happened after we were done. So we ended on a product that we really liked. We felt like the writing was really strong, and at the end of the day we didn't really care what anyone said, but because we knew that the two of us liked it, the two of us fucking loved it. we were like, this shit's great. We don't give a fuck who says anything.
Shit, it's been 5 years. I can tell you everything about it.
Yeah, so
verbatim.
Yeah, even though we haven't read it in so fucking long.
Yeah.
Like fucking Quentin Tarantino could have been like, this movie's shit. I would have been like, you know, Quentin, go fuck yourself, alright? Go get a bunch of black guys to fuck you, you fetish.
And we're saying asshole.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah.
Take that, Quentin Tarantino. I've been waiting to stick it to you for a long time, buddy.
Anyways, so basically we want to be really prepared when we actually attempted to actually
so in our little adolescent minds, we were like, yeah, we'll fucking film this next week, no problem.
Yeah, it was weird talking about it because it was like, oh, why can't we just film it?
Yeah,
why
let's
can't
just
we
film it.
Do it.
Why can't people just give us money and we'll film it?
Like, making movies is
It's
easy as shit.
easy peasy, dude. But so basically I told Nick, I was like, look, man, look.
He smacked my anus down.
Yeah, I smacked you around.
He sat me down.
So at the time, I was like a big, like, skit comedy fan. I was watching like a shitload of Whitest Kids. Well, I've always watched Whitest Kids, but like, I think they had just like uploaded their shit to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I was like rewatching that. I was watching like The Birthday Boys, and like going back and watching like old like Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
And then you watching like Good Neighbor stuff and fucking.
It was the age of like skit comedy shit.
Yeah, your bro team.
Oh, fucking Mega 64.
Yeah, Mega 64.
It was like, yeah,
Julian
it was during
Smith,
that time.
whatever
Yeah.
the fuck, right? And so I was like, look, why don't we get some practice directing some people around, shooting some stuff. Let's do a couple skits, buddy. You know, we can do it. Why not? Who says we can't? Fuck you. We'll do it anyways.
Yeah.
Right? So we sat down, wrote a bunch of like stupid little like 2-minute skits, right? Just fucking
Shooting the
idiotic stuff.
Shooting the shit. I mean, the extent of our conversations were just the most horrible stuff a human being can think of, and we put it all in one skit.
And we could tell you the first skit we ever made.
Oh yeah.
Which, do you want to invite him over to talk about it? I totally forgot that we were going to talk about this.
Are you talking about his special friend?
Our special friend.
I think so.
Okay.
All right, commercial break.
Another
Again,
commercial break.
another
Here's a
sponsor.
word from our sponsors. Here we go.
I'm Tony Mozzarella.
And I'm Vito Fettuccino.
Won't you come down and get a slice of pepperoni pie and a bowl of meatballs at Little Papa Pizza's Palace?
How about you get the garbage bag and smack the wife of it, huh?
Come get a bowl of hot flaming spaghetti. Delicious. Oh, baby.
You kiss your mama and then you kiss your butt. Okay,
Oh,
thank
come
you.
on down. We have a special every Wednesday. Get a free slice of bread. No problem. No questions asked. Come on down. Little Papa Pizza Palace. Huh?
Little Papa Pizza Palace.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Dave. And I'm Tim. And we're here to sell you something so amazing. You wouldn't believe it. Holy shit, what is it?
Well, it's a product you wouldn't believe.
Oh, wow, what does it do?
Well, I'd show ya.
Okay, show me right now.
Oh boy. Ooh, only 15.
How's it gonna fit up there?
Only 15.
Alright, let's got it.
All right, and that was a word from our sponsors.
Oh
Yay,
wow, I would
that was
totally
so
buy
good.
from their product.
Buy
line.
all their
Holy
products,
shit.
all our big fans. And like we said, we called in our special buddy. Can we get a drum roll? We get a. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
It's me.
It's Mark.
Yeah.
Woo! He made it. Yeah. Hey, buddy.
When they called me, you just told me try not to be mad, and
Thanks for clearing your busy schedule.
yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I always go where
really
people told me
appreciate
not to be mad at, so
So
I try.
It's
I'm always
good that
there.
we
Yeah.
called, yeah.
here we go.
Alright,
All right. So last time you heard from us before our message from our sponsors. We were gonna tell you about how before we started shooting that, we wanted to do some skits.
I remember.
Now
that.
we had a good buddy here named Mark,
That's me.
and we'll tell you how it went about. So we used to sit at our old lunch table, right?
We're
And
like,
so-
yeah, and I asked you, I'm like, where can we find? We just need one actor.
and so I had Mark for our
Economics.
economics class, right? And so
Was
we
before then.
Well, we knew each other from Miss Hershey's class.
Yes.
Which we touched on earlier. So we knew each other from Miss Hershey's class. We talked about the prank calls.
Yeah.
And how
he's a special guy.
We talked about. He did the Taco Bell one.
Yeah.
And then,
he's the guy.
the lady called back, and I pretended to be his dad.
He was gonna beat the shit out of me.
I was gonna beat the shit out of me. The lady applauded me on my parenting skills.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was a good time. So Nick had this idea for a skit, and I was like, man, you know what? I think Mark would want to do it. And you were kind of hesitant at the time because you didn't talk to him as much as I did because we had each other for economics class.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I think I could get him to do it, man.
So me and Mark.
Oh god.
Interesting history with each other.
Oh man.
Okay.
So Mark,
I'll take a back seat.
So Mark, how did we meet?
Okay, so it was sophomore year. That was the first ever time we met.
Really?
Was it?
Sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore year. Yeah.
Jay,
Okay.
with
Yeah.
Jay.
Oh my god.
We had some exchanges. We had Miss Hershey's class together, but we were never, like talking buddies.
Right. Yeah.
And then one day for lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. I'm gonna step in. All right. So like we said earlier, how sometimes people would come to our lunch table and just hang out with us. Like if their group of friends were being, I don't know, annoying, or they just didn't want to hang out with them, whatever the fuck. And so Mark was someone who would sometimes come by and just sit down with us and chat with us, right?
Because his group sucked at the time.
And so me and Mark, we talked a little bit just about like music or whatever. And did we already in class together by the time the incident happened?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
What
So,
incident?
you know,
What?
the chair.
What chair?
Oh my god.
Anyways, so this is why Mark was comfortable to come over. Like we were pretty good. We talked like here and there, and so.
Chair?
And then now I'll pass it on to Mark. This is why he came over.
So Mark.
So this is a good story, good friendship built on Nick and I. So I didn't know Nick that much except for the one class we had. And one lunch day, I walked over to Jacob. I was kind of standing up. I wasn't sitting down. I was just kind of hovering over him.
Remember you came behind me, you're like, hey, what's up, buddies? Like, slap on the shoulder, like, how
Nobody
the heck are you?
Nobody knew who the fuck I was. I didn't know who the fuck anybody was. I didn't give a shit. So, so Nick comes, nice boy, comes with his food.
Oh, he's a nice boy.
Yeah.
He's a little nice
Comes up
boy.
with food.
Yeah, just ready
His
to...
little spin hats, little spin hats, little overalls.
And like, nice kid, comes along, goes to sit down, and I'm just like... And I pull his chair from under him. Falls flat on his ass.
I remember sitting there looking at Nick fall to the floor.
Man.
Mark looking at the rest of our friends, waiting for a laugh, and we're all just looking at Mark like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what's your problem? And he just
Yeah.
kind of like, you can see it sinking on his face like, oh no. Just like-
Dude, at the time, everybody, like, were you expecting, like, people to laugh at it?
I didn't
or-
know. It's just instinctual.
It was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, if you were expecting someone to laugh or, like, people to do it, but everybody
I didn't expect
was
it to
silent.
happen. I thought you were gonna catch it. I thought it was gonna be like every
Okay.
other time I did it, someone was just you were gonna be like, you fucker, and
No,
stop me.
yeah,
Dude,
I
good
didn't
thing you
catch
put
it
your
at
food
all,
down. I'm like, good thing you put your food down and didn't like all fall on top of you.
I would've
Yeah,
ran
it was at
away.
the perfect
I
time.
would've
ran
where
away,
I
would've-
put it
let me
down
go
when
back
I
to
was standing
Wagner.
up. And then, yeah, Mark came behind me and fucking pulled my chair out of me.
Put my shit, pulled the
Pulled
shit out of my ass
me,
and slapped
ripped
me
into
in the
my
face.
asshole, put the shit out of me, ate it, and I fell down.
Yeah, it was
And at the
awkward as
time,
fuck.
I'm like, alright, no one was laughing. And I looked at Mark. I looked up at Mark.
Sitting down on the floor looking at
Yeah,
him.
I looked up at Mark,
He's
and he
100
had
feet
this
tall.
stupid grin on his face, like, is it funny?
Guys, am I right, guys?
And I'm like, oh man, I was so mad. But Mark, to be fair to Mark, he's definitely redeemed himself on that.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
definitely put.
I've apologized a
yeah.
million, even to this date. I've apologized about it.
Mark, there's been times where like we'll be like hanging out at a friend's house, like little kickbacks, and Mark will like reach this level of like intoxication where he walks up to Nick and he's like, "Look, man, I'm so sorry." Hey, buddy.
And when he comes up apologizing to me for no reason, I'm like, Oh, it's the chair incident.
It's
Yeah,
the chair
I know
thing
that,
again.
man. It's alright.
Just put his arm around Nick, like, look, man, I'm so
I'm
sorry.
so
I didn't
sorry
mean
for
that.
what I
It keeps
did.
me up at night.
I'm like, it's okay, man. It's fine.
So
Don't
that's
worry
how
about it.
that's how Nick and Mark met their first time, their interaction. So I knew Mark, and so I thought that was a great exchange that they had, and I was like, why not put him in a little skit, right?
Yeah.
And so at the time, Mark knew that me and Nick were hanging out a lot, and he would always be like, Mark would always say like, "Oh, if you guys are hanging out, let me know. Like, I would love to hang out with you guys."
Mm-hmm.
And we would always be like, "Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, man, for sure, whatever."
I don't think they meant it though.
Yeah, and
Really?
until
Did you actually think we didn't mean like hanging out with you?
Well, you haven't hung out with me since. I think I only hung out with Jacob like once. That's a whole nother story though.
Okay, well,
what? When we hung out once?
Yeah, it was like tutoring, and then you went to my band practice with me.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole
Yeah,
other
that was
story.
weird.
Nick,
wanna
I,
say that?
I was convinced.
Anyways, yeah, we'll say that. For
I was
the
convinced
yeah.
Nick hated me at the time.
Anyway, so Nick had this idea for this skit, and it was a skit about this dad who was writing like a question on this blog seeking help for his son who likes to fuck chairs.
that was actually a true story, and that was actually on the internet at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
actually based on the thing I read.
So I
on
thought
Yahoo
it was just
Answers.
something that you came up with.
No, that's
Okay.
an actual thing that happened.
So Nick, not being able to create his own story, he
An unoriginal
an unoriginal
piece of shit,
Yeah,
yes.
he decided to steal something, which this is my first time finding out about.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, that's so funny, good one, Nick. But
High five.
fuck
What are you
you,
gonna
you
do?
can never come up with anything original.
What are you gonna do, eh?
Anyway, so he tells me the thing, and I'm like, dude, no one's gonna want to do that. Like, so I was like,
I grab Jacob by his fucking band shirt.
Yeah.
And I said,
he's like, listen, motherfucker, you better
There's-
find someone.
there's someone desperate enough.
And I was like, look, Mark for a while now has been wanting to hang out with us. Why don't we ask him if he wants to help us out with the project? Let's not tell him what we're gonna do. Let's just say, hey man, you want to help
We
us out with
seriously
something?
not informed him?
We,
No.
dude, we didn't tell him what he was doing.
Until I got here.
Yeah, until we were in your room, and I was like, all right, fuck that chair. We did not tell him anything.
I was down as fuck.
Mark was just like, dude, what are we doing? Let's fucking go. Mark was just ready to do anything.
Yeah, Mark. Look, to all credit to Mark, Mark was really just.
He's a team player. Man.
Yeah, he was a team player.
He's
the
a fucking
whole
team
time.
player. So I remember like talking to Mark.
I had the camera too.
Yeah, in our economics class. Well, that's nothing to brag about. That was a real shitty camera. Anyways, I remember in our economics class, I was like, hey man, me and Nick have this little thing that we want to work on. We want to film this little thing, and we were wondering if you want to like be the main character in it. And I remember you like, oh, what is it? And I was like, oh, but we'll tell you later. Like, we'll tell you later. What are you doing? After school, we'll fucking, we'll get it done. We want to do it today. And you're like, oh, I'm not doing anything. And I was like, cool. Meet me and Nick, like, in the parking lot. Yeah, in the fucking back alley. And that's
So you
when
can
we
fight the shot.
we jumped Mark and stole his wallet.
It was
no,
great.
so
He really got back at me.
it's for the chair. Beat the shit out of him. No, so we hopped in Nick's car. We went to Party City, and I remember.
Oh my god, yeah.
I remember buying these like little bows, and this like fucking feathery, like fucking ascot type thing, scarf type thing to put over the chair.
Oh really?
The pink-
I
the
just
pink
remember
feather
the
thing.
We're gonna make it
mustache.
look like a slut.
Oh yeah, so we bought the mustache for the dad.
Okay.
We bought like the pink feather ascot, and then we bought the little bows for the other chair.
Wait, whose glasses were those?
Those are. Did we buy those or were
No, I
they
think
just
you
like-
just had them.
Like
I
3D
just had 'em,
glasses,
right?
right? Just
yeah. And then we had a pair of glasses. So that was our wardrobe. And so we went to Party
And a
City,
chair.
and Mark was like, "What are we buying this for?" I remember him asking like, "What's all this for?" And we're like, I'm like, "Oh, dude, no, it's for the thing we're gonna shoot later." And so we get to your house, and this is when you
What
had
were
this.
you thinking the whole time? When we were
That's
like
a good
buying
question.
this shit?
I didn't
Yeah.
fucking know what you were thinking.
Mustache, feathery thing, bow. I don't know. I
Just
just
like,
know I
oh,
was.
I'm in
You're
some
like-
deep shit now.
I was going with it.
Just like, all right, whatever, cool.
I mean, you don't know who we like actually were. I mean, ever since was the first thing we put out. Yeah.
As far as our friendship, like it reached like extent. It was music, right? We just kind of talked music.
So did you read Imposters?
No, I never.
No, we didn't show him Imposters.
Okay, then, yeah.
So he didn't fucking know anything.
Yeah.
He just would ask like, I want to hang out with you guys, because he knew we would hang out quite a bit, because we would hang out so much for writing Imposters.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I remember getting all the quote unquote equipment, all the wardrobe for the shoot, and then we came to your house, and we went to your room.
Oh my god.
And you had that little wooden chair, and we were like, all right, man. So the little idea is like, you're really in love with chairs. You know, you love chairs. You know, you love them so much that you want to have sex with them. You know, you really want to fuck them. You want to fuck these chairs.
Right. Yeah. That's basically it.
So the premise of the skit is like, he has this old wooden chair that he's in love with, and there's like a scene of him like fucking it. And then he gets this new chair, this new swivel black chair.
Nice.
And
Nice.
and then so he starts fucking that one, and then the wooden chair finds out somehow, and he's like, "Oh no, baby, it's okay. I'm so sorry." And then the dad, his father,
played by Nick.
His father, played by Nick,
with mustache.
With the mustache and glasses. He doesn't like it, so he puts it on the internet. He's like, my son likes to have sexual relationships with chairs, please help. And so
it was a real Yahoo question.
Yeah, we actually uploaded it. Yeah,
there was a couple answers on there. I used to read them.
Oh my god,
really?
Was there answers?
Yeah, there was a lot of answers. I think one of them was like, get furniture that's easy to clean.
I had no idea. Okay.
That's fucking gold, dude.
Yeah, there's like some. That was like the best one. That's why I remember it.
Get furniture that's easy to clean.
But it's not there anymore. I've tried looking for it.
Oh man, Yahoo snapped to us, man.
Yeah, they caught us.
God damn it. But what was I gonna say? Yeah,
the first scene with Nick is him posting the answer.
No. It's you. So it's narrated by the dad.
Yeah.
Which you don't find out to the end. So it's like Mark, like he has his arm around this chair and he's like kissing on it, and then everything, and then it shows him in the bed and he's like humping it really hard. Yeah. It's like he has a blanket over him, so
yeah.
It's just left like to the imagination.
Nips out though.
Oh, that was one weird thing I remember.
You didn't ask me.
We didn't ask
so,
you.
So we're like, all right. So the thing is, you're gonna fuck this chair, and I remember you being like, oh my god, all right. And then you start to take off your shirt, and me and Nick just kind of look at each other like, okay, like, we didn't ask you to do this, but all right.
Yeah.
And so you hop in the bed and you're like this. And we're like, yeah, man, go for it.
We had at least a couple takes.
Yeah, we had a couple takes.
Yeah.
We had to clean up the cum off the backboard and the chair.
And then you came up to me and you were like, man, that's some good back muscle. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's
yeah,
fine.
attaboy. What were you thinking when we told you like the premise at first?
Yeah, what were you
I
thinking?
was like, okay, so like I was like, oh, that makes sense with all the shit going on, and then
Wait, no.
Like, okay, I get it now.
yeah,
What do you mean?
The sexy pink feathery thing and then the mustache.
Oh,
I
you
was
put
like,
it
okay.
together. Okay.
Yeah, and then I was just like, well, I mean, I'm already here. Like, if I'm gonna fuck this chair, I might be the best one fucking it. Like, you know.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Holy shit.
lay it down for this chair right
Yeah.
now. God damn it!
Were you seriously
Oh,
thinking
man.
that? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, if I was like, you know, I wasn't gonna bitch out. I'm already
I'm gonna
here.
give it my all. I'm gonna work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that Oscar.
That's
I'm gonna
fascinating. I had no idea they were like, I'm gonna be the best chair fucker.
Yeah.
work that they've ever fucking
Ever
seen.
fucking seen.
Yeah, I was
That's fucking
like, I
funny,
was ready
man.
to impress. I was like, take my shirt off. I'm gonna get into it.
So
you
we
know?
filmed all that shit, and I remember like, oh my god, this is fucking hilarious. And I still to this day, I think if we had a better camera, like Mark said, he let us use this like shitty, like
16 megapixels. Like, that's not too
We
bad.
didn't-
16.
We didn't have any better though.
Yeah, we didn't have anything better. This was like 2000. No, I don't know. Was it? It was like 1974. We didn't have anything better. Mark had his little portable camera on film.
Right,
that I
yeah.
took from the
Yeah,
future.
that he took from
Mars, I think.
yeah, he took from the Red Cross, and that's all we had to use. It looks really shitty looking back at it. It just looks like a bunch of
Yeah.
pixels on
And
top of
looking
each other.
on like a TV. It was like
Yeah.
regular
There was just no focus. The angles, like, There's a lot of factors. All right?
The most thing was like Nick's room was like lit like a fucking dungeon.
Yeah.
Dude, it still is like a fucking dungeon.
It's better now.
No,
like,
it's not better.
No, you had a little lamp. You had that fucking lamp,
it was
not the ceiling.
It was that small little lamp.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Let me fucking tell you something.
No, go ahead.
If we filmed it the same thing now, Mark fucking the chart, it will look the same way if we filmed on his camera.
You'll look the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, well then. Anyways, it looks real shitty, but if we would have shot it with a good camera, I think it would have gone viral.
I think it was pretty
funny.
funny.
Do you think so?
Yeah, dude. No, it was fucking. It was funny. Especially like the chair looking in through the door as he smooches on the other chair, and he crawls to it. He's like, "No, baby, please."
Yeah. I only have one line.
Just a few.
Yeah, so the one line it's
you're acting like you're complaining.
I improv the fuck out of that line.
Who told you to say that?
Yeah, no, we told you to say "fuck you,
Don't
Dad."
say that.
No,
it's 2 against 1. We told you to say that.
I killed that line. It was the funniest part.
So
in the video to me.
I
don't say shit the whole thing.
It pans out, and you see that the narrator is the dad writing on Yahoo Questions, and he hears the thump of his son fucking the chair, and so he slams the laptop down.
Good.
Nick, you're drunk.
Oh my god.
Good.
Anyways, all right, so he slams. Oh my god.
What was that?
It just came. Oh god damn it. Oh god damn it!
Everyone's listening is gonna be like, "Oh my god, did someone get murdered?"
What's happening?
I don't know. You fumbled your beer like a goddamn football. What the fuck, dude?
Oh god damn it! You fell back in your chair and knocked
I saw with my beer over there, and I'm like, oh no.
God damn.
Alright.
Anyways.
God.
What the fuck was I even saying?
He walked on me fucking the chair.
Oh yeah, so he hears the thump of his son fucking a chair, and he comes into the room. Yeah. The dad comes into the room and he watches his son coming into the room, and he's like, "Stop fucking that chair!" And it zooms in
like
on Mark.
3-second pause, long enough to know there's a pause, and it's just like, "Fuck you, Dad."
Yeah, and it ends.
You really like that. I remember the next day, you came to me. And
I remember you were proud of it. You were like telling your friends, you're like, "Guys, check this shit out. It's fucking gold."
Yeah, you were like, my friend said that's the funniest part of that fucking video. Cool, dude.
It's fucking hilarious. Tell them why we called it Ever Since.
Oh, so
oh fuck's sake.
There's a scene where Nick's supposed to say ever since, and he says ever since. And I was like, "Nick, you fucking idiot. That's the name of our video." That was it. It was just Nick fucking up some words. So
Did we have another title to put it in?
We didn't ever come up with the title. Luckily you fucked up, so we gave
so Ever
Since.
Yeah, Ever Since. So that was like our venture into starting like our little skits at first.
So that was the first video that we uploaded.
Yeah, our first little skit.
And it was my only one that I
had. But like the friends that we showed like thought it was like genuinely pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like it was like a goofy funny.
Yeah.
Just like so outlandish that it was like, oh, that's so silly.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it now, I mean, it looked like our first attempt to actually try something.
Like I said, the camera's shitty, but like the premise of it is still funny.
Yeah, from that, it seems like an actual genuine kind of place.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. And then we went on to do like some other stupid skits, like the Accidentally, which
God.
I think is fucking comedy gold.
It was our best one.
It's our best one. It's our best writing, I think.
I think so.
Accidentally is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
you remember Accidentally?
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's about
the camera's not so bad. That's when you guys got your camera, right?
Oh, that was fucking
Nick, our friend Nick. So we had this. Who met him first? Did I meet him? Did you meet him?
Well,
did he just show up one day?
Yeah, he showed up one day and started hanging out one of our lunches.
I have no clue how we met each other. He just like popped in.
And he popped out real quick.
Yeah, he popped in, popped out like a goddamn
like a fucking ninja.
Like a goddamn ninja in the night.
Goddamn ninja Nick.
Yeah, Ninja Nick. I don't remember how I met him, but he was a good friend of ours. Me and Nick, he would just like was a camera guy. He knew a lot about cameras. He was a photographer, and so he knew like a lot about the tech and stuff like that. And so for a while, he was the person who filmed our shitty little skits.
And then eventually he stops.
Yeah, and just disappeared, which I don't fucking blame him.
Yeah, for like the sake of him, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm glad he like told us to fuck off and got his own life.
No, he didn't tell us.
Oh yeah, he just stopped
ran
showing
away.
up. Yeah. I'm glad he fucked off and got his own life. So either way, good for him. Yeah, but Accidentally is about this guy who gets a butt dial, and he answers the phone, and all you hear is just a bunch of farts. And
That's it?
Yeah, you hear a bunch of toots, and then he's like, "Oh no, I think it's a butt dial," and you hear like. And then Nick's character goes, "What an asshole." You get it? What an asshole.
You get it? Send us an email.
And then it becomes like
Send us a message.
super somber
Yeah.
at the end for no reason.
This sad song kicks in.
We have that song from Portugal Quartet.
What's the name of it? Export for hot climates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Which became like our joke. Only to the two of us. Like it was the song
no
we
one gave
used
a shit.
all the time.
Yeah. Until
Yeah.
you guys got sued.
Yeah, until they fucking
sued us and then said you can't fucking play this on an iPhone, on an iPad.
on anywhere. If you think about the song, we're gonna charge you
We're
money.
charge you $6.
Yeah, so
$5,
that was
$6.
funny.
Same thing.
But yeah, what an asshole. That was goddamn. That's comedy gold.
Oh, we have Sophie. We have fucking
Sleepy Nick.
Sleepy Nick.
I like Sophie the best.
Sophie the best?
The one with
Really?
Ruby and Josh.
Have you seen it recently?
I liked it. It was just weird. It was strange. It was odd. It was such a weird turn. I wasn't expecting it. It was really. Just...
What about the end with the
What
dog?
about the
That
end?
was stupid. That
Oh,
was.
no, I
that's
knew it.
comedy
I knew
gold.
it.
I knew that
it.
was
I knew
young.
it.
Oh
That
my
was-
god, that's comedy fucking
No,
gold.
I knew that was. I knew that you thought that. I
You
was
know
like,
what? You know what's funny? We just rewatched it recently, and Josh, and like throughout the video, he says the N word and the F word for gay. Like I just find it funny now. Like if we were to release that now, like we probably would have caught heat for that.
We get, yeah.
But back then it was just like, oh whatever.
Yeah,
Like in the
times
span
have
of like what
10 seconds.
3 years ago or some shit.
3 or 5 years ago.
No, it wasn't fucking 5 years ago.
It might have been
It's 4 at least.
4 at least.
4 at least.
Yes, 2013.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for your insight.
Thank you.
Thanks for saying
Yeah,
yeah.
I like
This is
Sophie.
Nick Howard. Thank you.
The Nick Gower, ladies and
Like
gentlemen.
that one. Who was that? Who was that random guy?
Antonio.
And he came in and he was like, "Yeah, there's a dead bitch in there who scared the shit back."
Did you
into
like
me."
that?
Yeah, that was
What?
funny.
Oh my god. You know
There's
what's
a
funny?
dead bitch out
You know
there
what's
scared the
funny?
shit into
he,
me.
he was just a friend that was hanging out while we were shooting that. And for everyone who's seen the skit, which is probably nobody listening right now, he was just like, oh, what if like there was some guy who said this, and we're like, yeah, that's funny, come and say it. And when he said it without the camera, it was like 10 times funnier, like his delivery. And then once he came on camera, like he was like so deadpan.
So yeah.
Yeah.
The, like one nose.
I mean, it's still funny though.
Yeah, I guess for someone who's never heard it, like,
The first time around.
yeah.
But yeah, I really, and even Nick's reaction was mine. He was like, "Who the fuck was that?"
Oh man, well I guess we don't know what we're talking about.
yeah,
Sophie's
I
our
guess
best
so,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
guess.
fine.
So.
I liked it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Sophie and what else? Oh, Leatherman trailer.
Yeah.
God, that was
Oh
so
shit,
good,
you were there
dude.
for Leatherman.
Yeah, I was there for
Oh,
like
yeah.
2 different versions of Leatherman.
Oh shit.
Which overall there's 3 versions
Yeah, man.
of Leatherman.
Okay, so we're not gonna go into it because that's like a.
Yeah, that could go on for hours.
So just briefly, like, what was the first Leatherman?
Leatherman is a character that just kind of like came from.
A video that I saw from Kraken. He
Oh, I
did a
remember
video,
those.
and he had a character that had the Leatherman voice.
But it was just for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't even.
It was
that
like
long, yeah.
like a hour-long video, which 3 seconds in it made Nick chuckle, and he's like, "I'm gonna make a character out of that." And so it
Can we hear
Leatherman.
the Leatherman voice?
Huh?
Can we hear the?
Wait. Who? Do you see that? Who is that? Oh my God! It's.
It's leather.
Jesus Christ! God damn, so dramatic.
Yeah.
I just got me.
Anyways, it was just a voice that Nick, like, basically from the video that he saw, it became this voice that Nick started to do.
And he really liked it.
Yeah, and he really liked it, and I thought it was funny, and I was like, sure, we'll base a whole character off of 3 seconds and a
And
voice.
again, like Imposters, it was supposed to be just like this, like, short thing that we're going to do.
But
like
it became
a skit.
like 3 variations of it.
The first one was about LARPing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't believe you.
Dude, I
remember
fucking
that.
told you, yeah.
Yeah,
The second
okay.
one was, the first one was about LARPing. The second one was like a Leatherman who had this like caretaking service.
He was
And then
basically a hitman.
Yeah. And then the
He got
third
the
one,
package and shit. And
the
then
third one is his origin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I think
It's
is
brilliant.
it's fucking brilliant.
It's an
Well, at least the
impossible-
beginning of it.
Yeah, I am.
It's fucking comedy gold.
Yeah,
Dude.
basically.
God damn, that shit's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Leatherman, yeah, is just
You can
is,
expect me to see me in there. That's
is a whole nother
that's
thing.
what I'm in.
Yeah, Leatherman's just this whole other entity that refuses to die.
Yeah, no matter what, like I do, he's gonna be in it, no matter what.
It's like a signature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a goddamn signature. He's this otherworldly person that's just
He's
taken
definitely
over.
not human.
Yeah, it's just taken over a part of Nick's brain that he can't let go.
Yeah, he's basically this whole, he's the universe packed into this one corner of the area that, like, specifically Leatherman.
It's
Like,
just-
you can see he's not specifically anything, but he's everything horrible. He's anything
He lives in that slimy, dark
exactly
corner of your
like
mind.
he's like that one thing. Like you
Everyone's
do
got a
not-
little Leatherman in him. I like
yeah.
to think. Yeah.
Here's a funny story. I remember getting the costume for Leatherman.
With the
With-
LARPing thing.
No, with
Holy
the
shit! Yeah,
getting
the sex
leather.
shop.
Yeah,
Oh,
letting
okay,
the leather
so-
mask
so-
was a lot fucking harder than
We
you think.
wanted to get a GIMP mask to shoot this little trailer for Leatherman, and so Nick had this leather jacket from, but it wasn't yours. Whose the fuck was
It was
it?
mine.
Oh, it was Mark's leather jacket. Because at the time, Mark and Nick would always trade clothes. Like, we'd be hanging out at Nick's house, and Mark would be like, hey, I like that shirt, give me it. And Nick's like, what? Why?
I offer something in trade.
Yeah, and then that's how it would start. Anyways, so there was this leather jacket Mark had.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck happened to it?
Nick?
I got no idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Anyways,
That,
so there's
that
this-
was like in 2013, 14.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
gone.
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get a GIMP mask to go along with the leather jacket. So we went to Adult Megaplex. Is that nationwide? Adult Megaplex?
Have y'all heard about Adult Megaplex?
Leave a comment below, smash the like button, share this with all your
Send us
friends.
a message, instant
If you like
message.
Adult Megaplex, if you ever been there, if it's popping.
Yeah, let
we
us
can be
know.
sponsored by Adult Megaplex if you're interested.
Ooh.
Just send us an email.
Ooh.
Just send us a little
Yeah, at,
friend space.
What's our email?
Fucking dudes.com.
Fucking dude.
fuckingdudes.biz@aol.com. Anyways, so we went to the Adult Megaplex to buy a GIMP mask, right? Simple.
Okay.
Reasonable.
Right, reasonable.
Okay.
Sounds simple enough, and we get there, and we're like, hello, Mister, good sir, this
Mr.
fucking,
Sex Man. Yeah.
this fucking,
Sex man.
this like tall fucking dude with a beard and glasses working there,
Hipster
and we're like,
fucking asshole.
hey man, we're trying to look for a GIMP mask, which looks odd, 3 dudes showing up to a fucking sex
Yeah,
shop.
asking for a GIMP mask.
Like, hey, do you have a GIMP mask? And to our surprise, he was like, a what?
Alright, yeah, so I asked him.
He was
I'm
fucking
like,
clueless, man.
Sir, can you please direct us to the right section to buy a GIMP mask? And he was like, what? Well, like, he was completely clueless
He had no
on
fucking
what
clue.
a GIMP mask is,
Yeah.
or what it contained, or anything at all.
Yeah, at
So
all.
I was like, the thing. So I had to explain to the guy, like, hey, do you know the thing you put in your face and it has like a zipper in between the mouth and it's kind of like a sexual kind of thing.
Costume, kind of a sexual
Yeah.
outfit. Yeah.
And
Pulp
he
Fiction
was like,
'94.
Yeah, there you go. There
if
you
I
go.
would have said that, it probably would have been helpful, but I didn't say that.
He
at
didn't
all.
understand it at all. He was just like, a GIMP, what?
It didn't sound like that.
No?
It was
Anyways.
a really guy, like,
Uh,
what do you mean?
Anyway,
sir?
so we were like, what the
Can
fuck?
he sound like that for the sake of the story?
What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure he sounded.
motherfucker?
It's 2 against 1. That's what he sounded like. Anyways,
GIMP what?
he's like, a GIMP who? And so we took off, and we were like, what the fuck? Is this harder to find than we thought?
Yeah.
And so then we had to go to this real shady sex.
Which I also have a story about.
Yeah, we had to go. Oh wait, no. Tell them about the adult megaplex story when you and.
Oh God.
Okay, so before we asked.
That wasn't with Mark. That was with Christian.
No, that was with you.
That was with him. That was with Mark.
You don't know. You probably don't remember. You have the worst fucking memory.
Okay. Anyway, so before we asked the guy, we
looked around.
Yeah, we looked around. Okay.
Nick and I took our own ways.
So everyone split up, and then eventually Mark and Nick met up in one aisle, and.
Let me tell the story. So Nick and I, we're gonna, as Faith will have it here. You want this beer, do you?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can take this one, you drunk bastard. So as Faith will have it, Nick and I met up in the dildo aisle.
Is that true?
Yeah, we did.
Fate would have it.
As fate would have it, him and I met up at a dildo aisle. We're just looking around, and we're just like, damn, like, look at all these prosthetic penises. Like, this is crazy. So we're standing next to each other. We're looking at them. We're just kind of like, well, look at that one, huh?
Oh shit! No, I know what you're going to say.
Look at that dick.
Continue. Yeah.
So we're looking at them, innocently looking like slapping each other around with it.
I was at the
Wait,
DVD section like a real man. Like a real dude.
And then this sweet, innocent black old lady comes in between Nick and I, and she's like, "Excuse me," grabs the double-sided dildo, looks at both of us, and walks away with it. Nick and I had a choice to make that day.
Do we look for the Gimp mask, or do we have the time of our lives?
Leave a thing down below. What did we
leave a thing? What do y'all think happened? Long story short, we didn't get a Gimp mask.
Oh yeah.
So I'm there in the sex store, and it's been 4 hours, and I'm like, I think they left. I'm like, where did the little old black lady's gone? My two friends are gone.
That's not true. So basically, we didn't get our gift mask that day, but we got it the next day, dude. Some store or it was.
No, it was like a small truck stop.
It was the same fucking night.
Was it really? I don't remember.
It was the same night. So after Nick and Mark fucked the old black lady,
yes.
Shut up.
No, that's a
DP'd the fuck out of her.
Yeah, anyways, so we asked the guy. He's like, "Fuck off! I know what you're talking about." So we get out of there, and we're like, "God damn." And I'm like, wait, there's this sex store in my neighborhood. As odd as it sounds, it's in my neighborhood. Let's go to the sex store over there.
It's really like creepy rundown. It's like
it's like the size of a convenience store. It's like this little truck stop in front of like a fucking
gas station.
Yeah, in front of this truck gas station.
Oh shit, we're talking about. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, so we go in there. It's like super shady. It's like dimly lit and all this shit.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh man, it's one of those nights.
Yeah.
So
I was worried.
Yeah, it just feels weird. So we go around, we look around. Luckily we find it. It's not leather like we we would have liked.
Yeah.
It's like this satin type of material.
I think
it's like it's obviously like a Gimp mask. Like as you tell from the trailer, it's like as you would have expected.
Nobody's fucking seen
zippers on that mouth, on the eye. Did it have zippers on the eyes, or just have like?
It had like things to snap over it, like little pieces of material. But yeah. So we ended up getting that, and then I think it was the next night that we shot, or was it the same night?
It wasn't the same night.
I remember you guys bribed me because you guys bought a mask on Amazon that was just like a creepy fucking little black mask. And you guys told me if I helped buy the Gimp mask.
It was like a fucking Jabberwocky mask.
Yeah.
Like the fucking dancers, but it was black.
It was fucking sweet. I love that mask.
Why didn't we use the mask?
Because you couldn't animate it. Yeah, I remember that was my thing. It was like there's no facial expression for it. And I was like, Leatherman needs facial expression.
I thought there was a movie that fucking came out that had the mask.
Oh, that music video. Some music video from someone.
Was it a music video or was it an actual movie?
I don't know who the fuck told me, but there was a music video that used the exact same black mask.
Oh, okay.
And it was like super popular at the time.
Oh, okay. It was.
Yeah, okay, it was you. Okay.
Crown the Empire.
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, it's a dumb band.
It was some band who ordered like a bunch of the same fucking mask. Yeah. And I was like, I want to use that same fucking bullshit.
Right.
I forgot.
And then it was that on top of like there was no animation for the mask, and I was like, there needs to be some type of facial movement.
Right.
And so that's why we went with that one. And then next night we
if you want to, if you don't want to know what the mask looks like, it's just look at the Crown of Empire mask and you'll see what we're talking about.
It's just like a solid plastic black mask.
Basically.
Yeah.
I wanted it.
So,
for different reasons.
For different reasons. To go back to the old black lady, show her another.
Yeah, show her another mask. Goddamn.
Anyway, so we ended up filming the little
the little trailer.
the little trailer.
It took such a long. We did different trailers, and there's one when Jeremy was there. Oh my
No,
god!
No,
that
that's
was
the
a-
actual movie. No, we're talking about the trailer.
The trailers,
We'll get to the movie in a
the
second,
trailers
yeah.
after the LARPing.
Yeah.
That's when we already scrapped that one.
Yeah. thank
Okay,
God, I
so
don't like that at all.
after the LARPing, which was a terrible idea, which I don't think any of us remember.
No, because you wrote the majority of that one.
Yeah,
and I
but
was just
Mark, did
because
you
it
remember
was so
any of
short.
it?
I remember like Jeremy and I. It was like a guy who was like really good at LARPing, and Leatherman wanted to be good at LARPing.
And so he asked his friend. Okay, so it was 3 characters.
Okay.
One guy who used to be a LARPing legend. One guy who kind of was carrying the torch from the guy who was a LARPing legend, and then one guy who was awful, who was Leatherman, who wanted to be a LARPing legend.
Oh my
So he
God.
challenged the guy who was popular at the time, and the guy who used to be a legend was gonna coach him to take on him in his fighting.
God,
This was your story,
This
Yeah.
is
you piece of shit.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyways,
Lord.
and it was short. It was like less than 10 minutes, and I was like, all right, man, yeah, if you want to write that, go for it.
you have no involvement of it.
I had very little
Yeah,
involvement.
that's just me, and it's fucking out the window.
Yeah, just
Like
fucking out the
this.
window. I remember going to Party City again, buying all this shitty.
Buying all the toys.
buying all the
right?
shitty little axes and swords.
Oh my God.
And we went to some old academy and shot in the back of the fucking like
I remember
alley.
that part,
yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
we wasted our time.
We wasted our fucking time.
Yeah, okay, fine. Fuck you. Alright, so.
You were the one who wrote it.
Yeah.
Fuck, me. Fuck you.
Your points?
That was you.
Okay, alright, so.
You're saying fuck me. You should be fucking yourself.
I'm fucking myself every day. Alright, so.
Okay.
So
No, the
after.
trailer was for the second variation.
Yeah, the trailer was for the second variation,
which was my favorite. I like that
which
one.
was Mark's
Yeah.
favorite. He likes that one.
Well, that was Sophie.
No,
Wait, what?
The second variation of Leatherman was my favorite variation so far.
He's talking about Leatherman, what he
Trailer,
likes.
yeah.
The trailer,
And then
yeah.
we did like the shot in the kazoo. Jacob was wearing the mustache.
That, no,
I thought-
a kazoo is a musical instrument. You mean a gazebo.
Gazebo,
There
yes.
you go. We didn't create a big kazoo. The budget wasn't there for that. But we
Alright,
did
let's
shoot
be
inside the
clear.
gazebo.
Let's be clear here.
I always get the two
Okay,
mixed.
alright, so, anyways. So.
Kazoo and gazebo.
Shut up! Okay,
Oh,
so the
God damn
second
it.
variation of Leatherman was very different. How was it different?
It's like
It was a lot different.
it was completely different.
Completely different.
Thank you.
It had nothing of the original aspect. At
Okay,
all.
so first one was about LARPing. Second one was about a hitman who got hired by 3 people unknowingly.
The
who-
hired hitman.
Yeah.
It was- they
Yeah,
were
people
supposed
who
to do-
didn't. Yeah.
Like normal tasks ends up like killing.
Well, okay, so there was 3 people. One of them was delivering flowers to a girlfriend. One of them was babysitting. Yeah. So one of them was delivering flowers to a girlfriend. One of them was babysitting, and then the thing that pushed the story was this
Package.
yeah, businessman who worked for some like shady organization who wanted this secret passage with this device to like render people useless in some way with this like sonic sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hindered them from actually like.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Like, yeah.
It just like turned their brains into mush.
Yeah.
And so my thought process was like we didn't have to explain the device as long as we made it visible.
Yeah.
Then that was fine.
Yeah.
And so it became those 3 people. And then at the end of it, Leatherman uses the device and ends up killing everyone by accident. And
Yeah.
he's just like, no, nah.
Whoops.
Yeah, so we wrote that one.
All right. So that's all right. So
Well,
when
hold
we.
on, we're skipping a lot of key points here.
That one was funny.
Yeah, filming it was hilarious. The gazebo.
Yeah, so it became like we were. It was me, my cousin Jeremy, who's like a brother to me, and became really good friends with Nick,
Everybody, yeah.
Nick and Mark, and so it was Nick playing Leatherman, me playing the person who asked him to babysit,
He
Mark
killed my girlfriend.
Mark playing the person that delivered flowers, who hired a Leatherman to deliver flowers, and Jeremy playing the businessman. And so that was the cast. But we were all too good friends that we couldn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
So, and I remember one of the biggest things was I dressed like a middle-aged dad. And so I had like these big, like goofy glasses and this like
It was the same
fat mustache. Yeah,
it was the same mustache that we used for
Evershin?
No, the time travel hat one.
No, Evershin's too. It was the same one.
That was
It was the same
mustache.
one?
Yeah,
Alright, so
it ended up on your Ford Focus. Wherever the fuck your Ford Focus is, it's probably still there. The adhesive was so strong that it just
this is
it,
on my car.
yeah, it combined with the metal.
Okay, alright, so.
So he looked dang right silly.
Yeah,
And
I
then
look
rap-
I look like a silly willy up there, man.
Yeah, we couldn't record. Like,
Every time that Jacob
Every
put
time
on
he
the
walked
mustache,
up.
we would just
Yeah,
fucking
I would
laugh
just
really hard.
turn around. I remember I was wearing some like blue sweater with like
Oh,
a
bun.
collar underneath. Yeah, and it was like too big on me. Like I just looked like a goofy fucking dad.
Fucking, yeah.
He just walked up, serious face, and we just lost
Yeah,
it.
they just could not stop laughing.
Yeah.
And then of course there's Jeremy's legendary.
Oh yeah, and my cousin Jeremy, he just
Oh, good lord.
he was just so odd that like every time he delivered the line, it was so just
Yeah.
you couldn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
What was it? Listen, asshole.
Oh yeah, listen here, asshole. He just performed everything so strange. Like we would always just like get our friends to do stuff. Like we never knew any fucking actors or anything, so we would just be like, "Hey man, come do this thing with us."
You're like, alright.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not doing anything today. But yeah, that was funny. So that was the second variation of Leatherman, and then the third one
We haven't done anything about it.
is called Ethlar, and we haven't filmed anything. Me and Nick just have the story, but it's the
But it's the best version.
yeah, it's the origin story of Leatherman, how it becomes.
Yeah.
So they told me.
Have you read it at all?
No, you guys just told me.
Oh, shit. So good.
This one has Josh in it, but
Supposedly. Well, okay. So, basically, yeah. The second.
third. We're on the third one.
No. But going back to the second one. The second one was very hard to.
Get everybody on schedule. That was the only downfall of that. Everything else other than that was going great.
Yeah. Well, getting everybody on schedule, and we had too many places that we wanted to record. I think Leatherman was a very big learning experience besides imposters that we've tried to avoid. Specifically in the second version of Leatherman, there was too many characters, too many locations to film from, and it all kind of slowly broke down.
It's
There
kinda
was more than just the
kinda
four of us, too.
Snowballed.
Yeah.
Well, we were the main characters, but then
There
there
was
was
more, yeah.
there was your girlfriend, and
was,
then it was mostly locations. There were so many locations.
Yeah, so many locations.
And different scenes, because we had the girlfriend's apartment, we had the party scene,
Yeah.
we had Leatherman's lair,
Yeah.
and then the dad's house where we babysat. It was just so many different locations, and we only knew a handful of people, and only a certain amount of people were okay with letting us film.
Yeah, I mean, this is going on zero budget stuff, so there is only certain places that we can film, and we weren't going to pay shit.
Yeah, we I think you called it a shoestring budget.
Is that the?
Yeah, that's the
point
term
there?
you use. Yeah, shoestring.
Shoestring. So there was nothing that we were going to spend money on besides the equipment that we've already paid money from.
Which was a shitty mic. This
it wasn't shitty.
This self-made boomstick.
No, it was a boomstick that we bought from Amazon.
Okay.
Okay, let me tell you about the equipment.
Shitty mic, shitty boomstick.
No. It was
Okay.
a boomstick. It was a Rode mic, which isn't cheap, and we bought.
How much was it? $70, $25?
It was $100.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So goddamn, it was $100 mic and a shitty fucking stand.
But
that we
you
put
you
on.
bought the mic, I bought the boomstick.
No, you didn't buy anything.
Yeah, I bought the. Oh wait, no, you got it for Christmas. It was your
No.
Christmas stuff, right?
It was everything I bought by myself, including the camera. You piece of shit.
Wait, I could have sworn you got it for Christmas.
No, I got it. I got the camera by myself, but everything around that, like the fucking mic, the stand by itself,
You asked for
and the
Christmas, right?
lights.
Santa gave it to you,
Santa came down the roof.
and then came down your butt and gave you all the
He fucked my butt.
gifts. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that wrong. He fucked my butt.
Thank you, Santa.
Came on my butt, and then he was like, "Here's your stuff."
Here's your stuff, you dumb bitch. Smoked a cigarette, flicked it at you, said, "See
And
you
I
next
cried.
year."
I'm like, "Thank you, Santa."
Thank you, Santa.
Leatherman won't go and fucking do it. Swear to God.
You fucking rock Santa.
So that Leatherman too.
Dude, what if Santa was like that? What if that was like the myth? Like he came down and like fucked you in the ass and left you gifts.
I would still believe in Santa.
Yeah, you'd still believe in Santa.
Sweet Santa.
It'd be weird, like, oh, your dad's Santa. That'd be a weird story. It'd be hard to put that. It's like, wait, what?
No, Santa's real.
Out there, some sick families spinning that
Santa's
tail.
real. It's not my dad fucking.
Every year he comes and fucks you in the butt and he leaves you a gift.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's actually fucked up.
Dude,
If some kid's getting fucked by Santa every year,
whoa, that's gross, dude. Come on, move it.
some
keep it
guy's
moving.
like, "That's your dad."
I didn't say that. Keep it moving, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Anyways, before Nick got all gross, yeah, Santa gave him all that shit. So don't make me feel guilty. That was Santa,
I'm
dude.
sorry, your dad's fucked you. Anyways, Jacob, Mark,
Yes.
Leatherman 3.
Leather, which is Ethlar, which is leather, just mixed around. The words from leather mixed around.
Is it backwards,
Yeah,
literally?
fucking-
No, it's not. It's not literally backwards. It's just all the letters from leather.
F-Lar.
Yeah, just mixed around.
I think we're both proud of.
Writing Ethlar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the funniest things we wrote. Besides Imposters, I think it's the funniest thing.
Mm.
Maybe funnier. Well, the beginning's just so fucking strong.
Yeah.
And this is from the last time I read it, which has been probably like a year. It's been a fucking long time.
Dude, it's been more than that.
Maybe, yeah. But I remember going back and reading it like, dude, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But I think the beginning's stronger than like the middle part. But Ethlar is about it's about this guy who works for his dad, who's an assassin agency. He runs an assassin agency, and he hires an assassin to take out his neighbors who are just like some shitty teens who make too much noise. And this is like to get back at his dad. So he hires this really bad assassin to kind of put a bad name on the company. And it turns out to be Ethlar, aka Leatherman. So
Before
Yeah.
he became like Leatherman.
yeah, actual Leatherman.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the third one.
There's map. Yeah, I don't know why they think it's the best.
Well, I
don't know.
don't think you've ever read it.
Have you read it?
No.
Okay.
I didn't read it.
I just know that Josh is my roommate, and I'm like a douchebag.
I think
Yeah,
we-
Josh is another one of our good friends.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Josh is a part of it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna be part of it if we ever do it. But yeah, I think it's fucking hilarious. I think it's great.
Yeah. So that's Ethlar, and then shit, we didn't even get into Dark Red.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. That was
That's more serious stuff for you guys.
before. I don't. Where does that fall in the timeline? That was before the second variation. That's for sure.
Okay, so to give some context with, again, going back to imposters. So going from, this is before we actually went to the skits, we said, hey, let's do something, like serious, something that we can like build on. So when we hit those parts in imposters that's like really serious, we can really like nail it pretty hard. So that's why we do the skits. And then somewhere in the timeline between Leatherman, we had another story that we wanted to tell that's Dark Red.
Which is, I think, the most difficult.
Dark Red, or the full
It
title.
became the most difficult writing process.
The full title is Dark Red and Fluorescent Lights.
Yeah, Dark Red and Fluorescent Lights. which kind of sent us on this downward spiral.
Yeah, this is coming after Imposters, which was something that we really loved.
Yeah.
Became something that we fucking hated, or
Well, we butted heads so much, man.
Yeah, it was a story that went nowhere.
Yeah, I remember it just kind of like haunting me. Like even like when we weren't writing, I was just kind of thinking about it, and it was just kind of this thing that was like looming over my head for so long, just like constantly on my mind. It became this dark entity that was just like
Yeah,
following
it really
me
fucked
around.
up everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it took up. It's not only like 60 pages long, which I have the copy somewhere here.
No, I burned it.
Yeah.
I burned the whole thing.
Well,
Yeah. Anyways, which it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be this short little thing.
Yeah. It was supposed to be the short little thing, but expanded, like Imposters. But this time it went absolutely fucking nowhere.
Just all over the place, yeah.
All over the place and
But
nowhere else.
we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody?
Yeah.
What do you think, Mark? Yeah?
Mark?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. We got a yeah, hell yeah. And another yeah from me. So this has been episode 1. Episode 2.
Episode 1.
Episode 2, episode 1.
Episode 2, episode 1.
With Nick Jacob and our special friend Mark. Hey. So thanks all 2 of you for listening.
Or 1 of you.
Or 1 of you. If you made it this far, make sure to tell your friends about the night shift. Night shift.
You got it.
Podcast.
Yes.
Brought to you by Kellogg.
You actually got it.
Yeah.
Night shift. Yeah.
Night shift podcast. Brought to you by Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, go ahead and kill yourself and your mother.
Your family. Yes.
All right, guys. Until next time. This has been the Night Boys. Mark, you want to say one last thing before you go?
Fuck you, Dad.
Fuck you, Dad. That's a
Fuck
good
you,
one.
Dad.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck you, Dad.